All right. So that's the games aspect of what's been going on. Now let's talk about my day off yesterday and a little segment here on the Level 1 podcast that I like to call Phil's Day Off. So, I've got good and bad things, okay? By the way, Baby Man Gaming, that's completely false, and I'm banning you now. Seriously. What's hilarious is people like to say dumb shit. That's completely false. So, get the fuck out of here. Enjoy your permanent ban, you fucking dunce. There you go. You deserve it, too. He's a blatant liar, so he can go fuck himself. On my day off yesterday, what did I do? Well, last week I had a full day out with my wife. This week we decided to stay home, but I still had errands and things that I had to run. Various different things that I had to do. In particular, here's how the day started. So I wake up in the morning, and here's how we start our day. Basically, we wake up, and usually have a drink, a cup of coffee, and my wife likes to put some peanuts in a little bowl that we put out back, and we have all kinds of woodland creatures that come by to munch on some peanuts in the morning. We got little squirrels that come by, tons of different kinds of birds that we've seen, and incidentally, there's actually a stray cat that's been coming by the yard just for like a minute at a time, but it's very afraid. It doesn't like humans, so it has no collar or nothing, and it's very afraid of humans, so if it sees us, it runs. But it was neat to see all these, every morning we put out a little bit of peanuts, and they come by for, 15, 20 minutes, so you get to see some nice wildlife. And Jasper loves it, because then if the wildlife comes by, he gets to be there at the back door. He's like going crazy, he gets to see and interact with the wildlife, and he loves it. What's funny is at first, the wildlife were very afraid of Jasper, but now they know he's an indoor cat. He doesn't go outside, so they're not afraid of him anymore. They come right up, they'll eat the peanuts or whatever. It's very cute. But yesterday, all right, I go downstairs, and I'm actually, I'm using the bathroom or whatever. And my wife goes downstairs, and she puts out our usual bowl of peanuts or whatever. And I go into the kitchen, I start making my coffee, and I walk to the back. I say, uh-oh, what's that? I look down. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not kidding you. Ready for this? Ants! Fucking ants. It's February, and there's ants coming into the house. I was very upset. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, we got rid of these last year. We had them for weeks and weeks. It was like a month and a half. These fucking ants wouldn't stop coming in our house. And so the last thing I wanted was the ants to return and think that this house is a place where they could get food. Now, there's already kind of some good news. So last year, I had bought these ant traps. Now, the way ant traps work is they have ant bait poison in them. And it's basically like a clear gel. And I think the clear gel apparently has like sugar or something in it that's attractive to the ants, but it's also got bug poison in it. So we had these in the house, and one of them, the one incidentally at the back door, had leaked onto the floor. Now we had tried to clean it, but it's very sticky, gooey shit, and I didn't get solvent or whatever. So we just kind of left it there. We're like, it's a little bit on the floor, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's just sitting right there on the edge of the back door. So, hey, if anything ever, tries to come in, they're going to go right for that, and that's the poison anyway, right? And the good news is, no, thankfully, Jasper doesn't want it. He's not going for it or anything. Cats, by the way, don't like sweet. If you don't know that, cats do not like sweet. They can't taste the flavor of sweet. They can only taste salty or savory. So to him, that's nothing. He's like, he doesn't even know what that is, so he doesn't even go, he doesn't touch it or nothing, doesn't lick it. So we just left it there. And I'm looking down, I got ants that had come into the house, and they all went for this gooey, sticky pile of leftover bait, poison, whatever you want to call it, and they're basically eating it. And I was like, ooh, well, this is actually fortuitous, because if that had not been there, those ants might have snuck in, and what they did last year, they would go immediately from the back door to the what do they call that? The woodwork at the bottom of your wall. I forget what it's called. The not the paneling, not the awning. What is that called? The piece of wood you put at the bottom of your wall. I can't remember. It has a name for it, okay? Is it a baseboard, a footboard, whatever you want to call it? So they would go under there. Now you can't see them because they're under the baseboard. You can't see them at all. And they would go all the way around the dining room. And then at one point, randomly, they would just jump out. And now you'd have ants all over the house, okay? They would use that baseboard as a way to protect themselves so we couldn't see them going through the house. And they would just attack, basically go out looking for food. And if that poison had not been there at the back door, likely they would have went all through the house. But thank God, the poison was there. So they're all eating it. I was like, ha, we got them. So I ended up squishing a bunch of them. Maybe some of them got it and left and went back to the colony. I don't know if they did. That's the whole point. You're trying to kill off the colony. And we kept looking at it all day. I'd say probably for about another 2 hours. Every once in a while, we saw a couple of ants and we got rid of them. But then it stopped. So the good news is, after a couple hours of keeping our eye on it, it looked like it was only a very few little bit of ants had come in, and we had put an end to it right away. So I already had ant spray from last year, and I sprayed the whole back step of our, that leads up to our back door. And then when I was out, I bought ant traps. And I put one just outside the door, and I put one just inside the door. So now these guys come, and they're hungry, which is the reason they're coming. They're going to go right for those traps, get the food. And we should put the kibosh on this shit right away this year. No more month and a half of being infested with goddamn ants like we were last year. That was a nightmare. Constantly more ants coming into the house. And it was like every time we thought we got rid of them, more ants, more ants. Like, what the fuck is this? These fucking ants. I mean, the only way that we 100% got rid of it last year is that I was constantly, like, for a week to 2 weeks, I was spraying the ant spray on the back step. And then the landscapers came by for like early, like between spring and summer, like that time, and they did a thorough landscaping of our yards. And when they did, I think they might have disturbed wherever the anthill was that they were coming from, and that was the end of it. We never saw them again for the entirety of the year up until now. So gotta hope for the best. And I got traps already out, and I think we're okay because now we got it early. We caught it as soon as it happened. We caught it. We already had the thing in place. So hopefully this will not become an issue. Can't have ants. Tired of this shit. Last year was a nightmare. We don't want that back. I hate having fucking bugs like that in the house. It's gross. Okay? So, we got that done. I went out and about doing my normal stuff. We had a pet store to do. Grocery store. Picking up things for meals for this week and stuff like that. Nothing too overly special. I had to go pick up a medication for my wife. It was really stupid because with certain medical insurance, okay, you can actually have you can have 3 options. You can either pick up your medication from the store, which is a hassle to have to drive to the store to pick it up. You can have it shipped to your house, or depending on the medication, you can actually have someone deliver it, okay? And sometimes if my wife doesn't have time, or maybe she forgot to reorder it right away, she'll say, I'll just have someone deliver it. It's fine. It's covered under your health insurance. So this works about 95% of the time. But just like with these other food delivery services, right? Every once in a while you get a dunce who can't read. And I hate to say it, that's the problem with this whole gig economy. You'll have people who are completely competent. They know what they're doing. They're great workers. They do their job above and beyond. And they absolutely are outstanding. And you want to get them again, and you can't. Because in the gig economy, you just get whoever is delivering whatever. So in this case, my wife had needed a medication. She was about to run out of it. And it was supposed to arrive yesterday. And the thing never showed up. And then she looks at the tracking and it says, a person couldn't figure out how to deliver it and returned it back to the pharmacy. There's literally step-by-step instructions printed on the thing on how to deliver it. So you go to the front gate, here's how you access the community, and we're all the way in the back. It's just a person who can't read. And they're taking a delivery job, and they can't read. If you can't read, don't take a job where you have to read. Because this is the problem, is I get the feeling a lot of these people think, oh, this is just a gig where I can just take it, and all I do is I press go on GPS, and I just follow the GPS, that's my job. It's not. You need to have intelligence. You can't just do that job without understanding there might be some circumstances. What if there's a rerouting? I don't understand what that means. What's a rerouting, right? It's like, you see? It's just really funny that these people think that they can take a job because they don't understand English, essentially. It's what it is. They don't understand English, and then they don't, I've had times, I told you, I've ordered food before. They deliver it a community over, and they say they delivered it. I had the one time where the guy was next door in an apartment complex, and he's trying to call me, but I'm texting him like, here's what you got to do. Go here, here. No, I am in your complex. Come outside right now and get your food. And I was like, you're not in my complex. There's a GPS attached to your service. I can see where you are. You're next door. All you got to do, you go out to the main road, You take a right, you come back, you'll be at the front gate. No, come out right now. He's like yelling at me. Like I did something wrong because the guy can't understand simple, basic English instructions. Like he's yelling at me. Like it's how some of these people are. It's like, so am I shocked that, you know, the freaking, there was a delivery that somehow someone claims they couldn't get access. This reminds me of, remember, the FedEx delivery of trying to get this capture device delivered. There was no access to the person's home, except that we were sitting at home all day. How was there no access? All you had to do was contact us. You had our phone number and everything. So what are you talking about? It's laziness. So I had to drive to the pharmacy and get the prescription. Not that it was a big deal, but it was funny because when I get to the pharmacy, the pharmacist, you know, I say, so it was a med, here, it's my wife's meds or whatever. And they go look, they say, oh, we don't have it. I was like, okay, hold on. They tried to deliver it yesterday and they said they didn't deliver it. They couldn't deliver it. And they looked and said, oh, wait a minute. And they went and picked it up. And here it is. Here it is. The bag it's in, literally printed on a piece of paper, big ass eligible or legible letters. Here is exactly how you deliver it. It tells you where to go, what to do, step by step. It's like lined up. My wife had typed out these instructions for anyone who needs to deliver something to our home, how to do it. And the guy just couldn't read it. So he delivered it, undeliverable. Anyway, so I had to do that on my day off. What else did I do? Nothing too special. However, my foot is killing me. And I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. You know, I have gout. This is something that's been an ongoing problem ever since 2015 when I was diagnosed with it by a doctor. And I don't know if my left foot has it right now or not, because this is not what it's been like previously. And I'm a little nervous that maybe I hurt my foot or something. So, for those who don't know what gout is, I have a acidic chemical imbalance in my blood. All right? If I eat too much of red meat or just meats in general that aren't low acid, if I eat too many fatty foods, like if I really pig out and I'm eating a lot of like greasy burgers or pizza or shit like that, if I go on a drinking binge, if I go on a bender and I just keep drinking nonstop, okay, all these things could be factors that make me have a bad flare-up in my acid levels in my body. Now, if this happens, typically what would happen is in the ball of my foot, not the ball of my foot, how you can explain? Okay, you know where your big toe connects to your foot? How it's kind of like a big swollen joint there? It is. It's a big joint for everyone's foot, right? That joint where the big toe connects to the main part of your foot, typically, I get a buildup of acid, it's acidic crystals that will build up in that joint. And what ends up happening is the joint swells up huge and is excruciatingly painful. Now, my whole foot will discolor. It'll swell up, and you'll be able to see it's inflamed, it's red, it's painful, okay? That's what usually happens when I get a gout flare-up. Now, I haven't had a serious gout flare-up in many years because I've made adjustments to my lifestyle that I don't have it anymore. I drink tart cherry juice literally every day. I got a big-ass glass of it that I drink, and it's been known to reduce acid levels in the body, or at least level acid levels in the body. I've dramatically cut back on my intake of red meat, pork, and that kind of stuff. Okay? I don't drink nearly as much. If I drink, it's every once in a while. I used to be like a non-stop drinking alcoholic, and that's been long gone. I don't do that anymore. You know, and same thing with fatty foods. Do I eat them? Of course I do, but I don't eat them all the time. You know, whenever we're eating at home, essentially we're eating home-cooked meals that are decent for you. You know, definitely not the healthiest, but it's also not horrible for you. It's kind of, you know, at least sometimes healthy, sometimes not, but you know. But anyway, it's annoying because this is an issue that will never completely go away for me. It's something that could periodically come back and then go away and then come back again. But anyway, a little over a week ago, my foot started to hurt, my left foot. But it didn't feel like a gout flare-up. It was like the top of my foot. And if you touch it, you can feel it's like the muscle on the top of my foot and down, up through the core of my foot going into my ankle is what really hurts badly. And what's funny is right now I'm just sitting here with my foot elevated, and it doesn't really hurt that much. Maybe a little bit if I really try to stretch the foot. But when I step on it, oh, because that's when all the pressure goes on your foot. And that's when it's going to get strained in that muscle. And it's like, it hurts bad. And it's been on and off. Like a week ago, it was hurting. And then within a few days, it went away. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just, I just pulled a muscle. I just had an issue. So all of a sudden, Tuesday, as I'm streaming, it starts to hurt again. And I'm like, what is going on? So yesterday, I had to go out and do all these errands and stuff. And by the time the day was over, my foot's throbbing. And I went to sleep. I woke up today. It's still throbbing. I actually took in a leave this morning to try to help it. And I think it is starting to help a little bit. But man, this sucks. Like, I don't know what it is. And I hope that I haven't seriously hurt my foot. I mean, I'm not a super physical guy or whatever. But that would really suck. Now I've got a whole week here where I'm streaming. So it's not going to be a giant deal. I mean, I hobble around the house. But I just hope it's not a big deal. I'm literally staring at my foot. There's no visible swelling. There's no discoloration. Like, it's nothing like a gout flare-up that I've ever experienced. Yet when I step on the foot, it hurts. Is it a torn tendon? Is it, I have no clue. I really don't know what this could be. So, hope for the best, right? Hope for the best and hope that it's not an ongoing thing. Anyway, so after I'd gotten home from all of my errands and all of that, we ordered out. We actually ordered Indian food. I got butter chicken. My wife got chicken tikka masala with some naan bread. Absolutely delicious, but pretty spicy. And then we watched 2 hours of someone playing Dead Space Remake, and they're almost done. Basically, one more 2-hour segment, and they're going to finish the game. So we're right at the tail end, and I'm actually excited to see how she reacts to the end of the game, because Kat has never seen the end of Dead Space 1. The big twist ending that's exciting. So I'm actually very interested to see how she's going to react to it for the very first time, because she's never seen it. And then we actually watched another hour or two of someone playing Hogwarts Legacy. So that was our day yesterday. Nothing too... one notable thing. My wife... Well, okay, it's notable. It's kind of sad, all right? Let's see. Hold on. Do we have this here? Not on this one. Hold on. I think this is it. My wife... Okay, this. Listen to this, all right? Put away all the winter and Christmas decorations. It's truly a sad day in the Burnell household when all the nice winter wonderland and Christmas-like decorations go away. I'm very sad about this. I'm upset. Now I have to wait till November again to see them. She put out more generic, like springtime decorations. We have a few fake flowers and little fern, fake ferns and things that we've accumulated over the years that she puts out. And she actually put away, because we have a lot of candles that are wintry themed. Those went away, and we put out the more generic, just white, electric candles. And I'm very sad. Let me tell you guys something. You guys know what a big fan I am of the holiday season. And for some people, the holiday season is just like Thanksgiving to Christmas. But for me, it really is it's an ongoing thing. It's a state of mind. Remember, Christmas can live in your heart all year long. And I like having that spirit of festiveness and giving. And when the Christmas decorations finally go away, it's kind of a very sad thing. Where it's really? Now we can't sing Jingle Bells. And we can't, stand around the Yule log, drinking hot cocoa, and having visions of sugar plums dancing in our heads anymore? No. Anyway, no, it was funny because I was out doing all the errands, and I came home and my wife had been redecorating the house, and I was like, oh, really? No, actually, I'm happy. I'm happy because, spring, I like spring. The problem with spring is the pollen. If it wasn't for the pollen, I would like spring a lot. The problem is springtime, there's always pollen, and I get allergies. So what we're going to do is likely in the next couple of weeks, as it starts to warm up, because temperatures likely will start warming up sometime in March here in Washington State, I'm going to go and get air filters for our furnace. And what we do is we don't have the heat on in the spring. We have the air circulation. We just turn it on for fan. So the air circulation cleans the air up if you have good filters in there. So we're going to buy the better filters and try to clean the air with the vents and everything this year. Last year was bad. Last year was a really bad allergy year. And I'm hoping it's not that bad this year, but you never know. Every year it's hit or miss. So, so we had that, and you know, that's really our day off. I'm trying to think of anything else really happened. Not really. Nothing too crazy special. But I was basically pleased because, number one, I was following basically what everyone was saying about the 2 new playthroughs on Tuesday. I read all your comments and approved all your comments on DSP Gaming from that. I was very happy about that. And, you know, in general, there were some leftover comments coming in on DSP Reacts from the React content that I'd done over the course of the week. Although most of it, admittedly, is trickled out now. But seems like in general you liked it. You know, there's a lot of suggestions for improvement that I'm going to try to implement this week. You know, particularly naming of videos and things like that. But for the most part, it seems like there was a very positive reception to everything this week, which is good. And it seems like you guys are ready for a reinvigorated week, which I'm happy about. Because I'll be honest, I was a little upset last week. I don't know if it came through in the videos or the streams or whatever, but I was actually feeling down on myself. Because, you know, I try to maintain entertaining stuff for you guys, right? I do. I want you guys to be entertained no matter what. And every day when I'm coming to DSP Gaming, and I'm noticing that viewership is diminishing and dwindling on everything I'm doing on the channel, I'm like, that's not good. That means that I'm doing a bad job of keeping you guys entertained, or else you would be watching more. And it makes me feel bad that I'm not doing a good job. And I don't like that. Actually, I was feeling really down on myself and kind of a little depressed before my day off, because I was like, man, I guess, you know, I was hoping with the announcement of DSP Reacts and everything that people were going to be kind of excited and reinvigorated. But then I'm looking at like, wow, people are really saying that everything I'm doing is kind of boring, and that it made me feel shitty. But that's not your fault at all. That's just me being honest with you guys. It's like, yeah, if I'm not doing a good job of entertaining my audience, I don't feel good. I feel like I've let you down. You know, as I was saying last week, I was thinking, oh, this is the week there'll be a rallying. People will rally and get memberships so we can hit our members goal for the month, and, you know, especially with the new games. And literally, we got 0 new memberships all last week. 0. In a whole week, 0. And I was like, wow, that's bad on me. That's not a bad reflecting on you. That's bad on me. Because maybe if people felt that I was putting out good enough content, they would support it. And people didn't in that method. Other people on streams absolutely did. You know, the streams overall did all right. And then, you know, that last day, you know, Tuesday also, when essentially I had 2 new releases, and typically on a new release day, the support is sky high, and it wasn't. In fact, no exaggeration, Tuesday was the lowest supported day all week. Other days when I was playing games like One Piece Odyssey or Oblivion, you know, or random Modern Warfare 2 streams, those were getting more support than the new release day. So again, that tells me like what's going on here. And at first I was a little worried, but then I basically saw you guys really enjoyed the content on my day off. You left a lot of positive comments on it. You really enjoyed that special video that I put out, you know, the Oblivion video with me edited into it and all that. And it kind of made me feel better again. I was like, so maybe you know, again, what it is when you're a content creator like me and you rely very much on the audience, right? I'm not someone who has 1 million viewers where I have any kind of insulation from risk. If I'm putting out content you guys don't like and you're not going to support, it makes me feel like shit, and it makes me nervous. And I was definitely feeling that pressure last week a lot, all right? By the end of the week, I was actually feeling kind of depressed. And now that I have my day off, and I'm watching you guys watching the new gameplay, and you're liking it, and I see people enjoying the stuff on DSP Reacts, and I see people enjoying the new video, I'm like, all right, I feel better again. I feel reinvigorated to come back today and hit strong. And have a great positive week with all of you, because this is going to be a crazy week of variety for sure coming up. In which case, I think that's what we should talk about. Let's talk about this coming week, all right?